Hello, Anime here. I'm going to be doing another anime tier list, and this one is one I actually ended up doing myself, so this should be fun. It's an action anime list. I picked some of my favorite action anime right here that I'm going to put on the tier list to rank for you. So let's see. First one I have is Black Butler. This one, I think I'll put it in B, as I really enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it as much as some other ones that are coming up. Next up is Bleach. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to put Bleach in C. I am rewatching it, so that's probably going to change, but the reason is because it got really repetitive for me, so I didn't really like it. That's why I want to rewatch it, just to see, if maybe I can get over that and, thoroughly enjoy it. Ooh, Arslan Senki. I'm going to put this one in B as well, because it's a really good show, but it's not the most exciting when it comes to, like, the action and stuff. That is Attack on Titan. Now, Attack on Titan, I think, is A-list. It's very good. It's super intense. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. It does kind of die down a little bit, and then it picks right back up, and it's so good. So definitely give that a watch if you haven't yet. Black Clover. Then I'm going to put Black Clover in B. And the reasoning is because Black Clover is longer, so it does have a lot of filler episodes. So it's not as good as it could be if it had less fillers. Batum. I'm going to put Batum in D. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it's not the best show I've ever seen. It's really cool, and it's got a really cool premise where what happens in this one is they play a game online where you use bombs, and he gets transferred into that, like, an island that you have to use the bombs to kind of defeat everybody. So it's really cool, but they only use bombs. So it's like I kind of wanted a little more kind of diversity in probably the weapons and stuff. That's why I put it D, because, a little more diverse would be cool. Blue Exorcist. Then I'm going to put this one as a C, just because it starts out absolutely amazing. Like, when you watch the first episode and on, it's so good. And then it kind of dies down too, and it gets a little boring, and you're just like, it's not as interesting. So that's why I'm going to put it as C. Bungo Stray Dogs. Ooh. This one I'm going to also put as a C, because I thoroughly enjoyed the first season, and I'm pretty sure it was the second season I liked, but the third season, it kind of strayed away from the main character, like Atsushi, and went on to Dazai, and he's really cool, but I don't know, it just felt kind of weird from them, diverting from the main character that you've watched the whole time. Code Geass is next. I'm going to put this one. I'm going to give it a B ranking, because it's really good, but it's also kind of one of those ones where there's some moments where it dies down and you're like, it's not as interesting. It's really good, but yeah, it's got a really good, like, political standpoint and stuff to it, so it's very, like, in your face about what is actually happening in the show and stuff, so it's really cool that way. D. Gray Man. This one I'm going to put as an A, because other than the filler episodes where it's not as good, the rest of it is absolutely breathtakingly stunning. It's so good. I honestly enjoy it a little more than Black Clover, so that's why I'm going to put it higher than Black Clover. It does have a lot of fillers, and it's, does have the moments where you're kind of bored, but it does a really good job when it is with the storyline, keeping you interested and making it really interesting. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? Or Don Machi? This one I'm going to put as an A as well. And I'm going to do that because it's such a good, kind of well-rounded show. It doesn't start out the most exciting, but I just really love the way that it goes about it. And I really like the main character, Belle. And I like how he's got, like, the power where he can level up really fast. And it's so cool just seeing how fast and how much more powerful he will get. Oh, well, Demon Slayer, we know where that's going. S. I absolutely adore Demon Slayer for a couple of reasons. One is the animation. It's absolutely breathtaking. Studio Ufotable did an amazing job with the animation style and keeping to kind of what it looks like in the manga. So well done. They kept with the story because I've read the manga and it's pretty damn similar. They didn't stray. There's no filler episodes. It keeps you interested right from the get go. It is not the most original story, but it's very intriguing. I absolutely love it. I love stories with demons and fighting and stuff. And it does it in such a way where it's cool because Nezuko, the sister, turns into a demon. So you're like, oh no, like what is he going to have to do to his sister? But she ends up helping him, which I think is absolutely astounding and incredible. So it's a really, really good show. I think that if you haven't watched it, give it a shot. Dororo. This one I think I'm going to give an A ranking because it's such a good, well thought out show, and it's very, very heart wrenching. Like it breaks my heart when I watch it. Spoiler alert. The whole premise of it is this guy right here, his name's Hyakkimaru, and what happens is his dad is a feudal lord, and he ends up wanting to protect his land, and his land is going through a lot of hard times right now, like droughts and everything, so he wants to make it prosperous again. To do that, he ended up going and making a deal with these bunch of, I don't know how many, but a bunch of demons, and he said, you can take whatever you want from me, just make my land prosperous. What did they end up taking? They took the limbs, the skin, the eyes, the nose, everything from his first newborn son, Hyakkimaru. So this poor kid has to grow up with no parents, on the verge of death, and probably going through a ton of pain because he's got no skin and everything. So he did end up surviving, and he did end up growing up, and then he ends up going and fighting the demons to try to get his body back and everything. It's such a good, heart-wrenching story. I highly recommend it. Watch it. The reason I put it at A and not S is because it's not what would I say? Like the most like crazy boom, like in your face story. It's kind of it's like that, but not as much as Demon Slayer, to the point where I don't believe I should put it in the S rank. Because it does have some moments where it's not, like absolute insanity happening, and it kind of dies down, and you're just like, oh, okay. And this is Dragon Ball Super. I'm going to give Dragon Ball Super a ranking because it's so good. I absolutely love it. My favorite arc from that one is the Future Trunks saga. Absolute amazing. So well done. So good. I love how it continues it on from Dragon Ball Z, which is the next one, so I'll tell you about that one. And it kind of keeps Future Trunks in the story, which is really cool because he's my favorite character. So anybody who really likes him really likes that one. And I just really like the way that they go about it. Dragon Ball Z is also going to get an A ranking. And the main reason for that, and the main reason for Dragon Ball Super getting it, they like to take a while for them to power up. Like I've said in other videos, they spend a good chunk of time screaming and powering up. And it's cool and all, and we get that you're super powerful, but we're here to watch the fights. So they kind of tone it down in Dragon Ball Super, but in Dragon Ball Z, they do a lot of that. It's a lot. But it's very well done, and my favorite arc from Dragon Ball Z, the Cell Saga. Because Future Trunks is there. You get to see Gohan actually be amazing, because, this little kid steps up to the plate and actually beats the bad guys. So it's absolutely incredible. Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is going to get some... You know what? I think I'm going to give Fairy Tail a B ranking because Fairy Tail is absolutely incredible and it's very good when it stays on the story. But the fillers, of course, because it's a long one, kind of take away from that. So that's why I'm going to give it a B ranking because of the filler. Full Metal Alchemist. Now this one I think I'm going to give a ranking because Full Metal Alchemist is absolutely an amazing, astounding show. It's so good. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood as well, and that one is also absolutely incredible. So definitely give that one a shot. This one right here, I love the comedy aspect of it, but that's why I'm not going to put it at A, because it does have a lot of comedy, so it kind of takes away from the seriousness. I love that it breaks it up, don't get me wrong, but I also love it when it's like super serious and there's not too much comedy and you're like, oh, okay. Mirai Nikki, or Future Diary. I am, I don't think I like this one as much as Blue Exorcist or Bungo Stray Dogs. I'm going to put it as a D ranking. It is really cool and it's a very intriguing, interesting storyline. Because what happens is people have cell phones and their cell phones actually have diaries on them and they get turned into future diaries. Certain different kinds. So it's very cool to see what kind of different diaries are out there and how they read the future. And it's a survival game, which is absolutely incredible. The only reason why it's at a D ranking instead of higher is because the main character is younger, so he does freak out. He does act like a kid his age would, so it's very realistic, but at the same time, I kind of prefer somebody who's a little bit of a badass. Sorry for my... That is, to me, is really cool when they take everything in stride and they just go with it and they just go crazy and they're so powerful. They don't have that in this one, so that's why it's going to be at D for me. High School of the Dead. Okay. I am also going to put this one at D. The main reason for that is because it takes away from the zombie apocalypse aspect of it, and it has it where it's very pervy. Watch it, you'll find out. Hunter x Hunter. Now this one I'm going to give an A ranking. It is absolutely 100% an amazing show. I've given it an A ranking because it does have moments where it's not, the most interesting and it's a little boring. Kind of like the other ones where it's dies down and you're just like, oh, okay, well, it stays with the story, but it also does it in a way where you're kind of meh. So that's my personal opinion on it. I love the show, but yeah, it does do that to me. Inuyasha. I'm gonna get Inuyasha a C ranking. Inuyasha is an absolutely amazing show, and the reason I gave it a C ranking is because of how annoying Kagome and Kikyo are, because they're always like, Inuyasha. Well, Kagome is anyways. It's like she can't really do much by herself, so it's just weird. I don't like that. I like it when the females can stand up for themselves and actually really contribute. She contributes a little bit, but not too much. For the most part, she calls out to him, and he has to help her. Season 1 of Magi. Now, I split this one in two because both seasons are very different in my opinion, in my heart. Season 1, I'm going to give... let's see here. I'm going to give it a B ranking because Season 1 is very, very good. I really, really enjoy it, but I do not enjoy it as much as Season 2. And Season 2 is going to go in an A ranking. And the reason why is because Season 1 pretty much introduces the characters and the story and stuff, so it's not as interesting. Whereas Season 2 introduces a very dark plot that is happening at a school called Magnoshatat. And it delves into that darkness, and you're going to see it, and it's so good. I absolutely love Season 2. My Hero Academia, I'm putting that at S rank because I absolutely adore My Hero Academia. So good. It does have its moments where it does die down, but I overlook those because when it gets into the story, I am in awe. My absolute favorite part of the whole show, sorry if it's a spoiler, but Eri, when they save her and she's at the concert and she smiled, that lit up my heart. It was the best moment I have ever seen in any anime. I was screaming. I was so happy for her. I was like, yay! She's finally happy, finally having a good time. It's so sweet. It was amazing. Naruto Shippuden. I'm gonna put this one. I think I'm going to put this one also up here as an A ranking because it's absolutely incredible, but it does have a lot of fillers like some of the other ones, so it's not going to be an S rank. Naruto, the original, I'm going to put this one down lower, kind of the same as like Season 1 of Magi. Not as good in my opinion. Very good, but this one spends kind of more time on him as a kid and stuff, so he's a little less mature. And I like it when they're more mature and they're more powerful and crazy and just so cool. Plus, in Naruto Shippuden, Naruto gets the recognition he really needed from the village. And that was absolutely amazing in my opinion. Alright, we have Noragami next. I'm going to give this one a B ranking, kind of for the same reason as Arslan Senki, where it does have some really good like action and everything, but it's not as exciting as others. One Punch Man. Now, I'm going to give One Punch Man a C ranking because it's really, really cool and really good, but it does have a lot of the funny moments. Plus, he can beat characters with one punch at like the beginning for the most part, and it just makes it, I know that's the name of the show, but it makes it not as interesting to me because I like it when they actually have to struggle and come up with very interesting and inventive ways to actually beat the bad guy. One Piece. One Piece, I'm going to, I'm going to put it, I think I'm going to put it at B. Yeah, I'm going to put it at B with Fairy Tail. Because, same thing, lots of fillers. One Piece has a lot of episodes. Not kidding. I know that it's very intimidating. And I always say to people, the first, 300 episodes are not the most interesting because they literally spend, I think, 100 episodes on one arc, the Alabasta arc. There's a movie on it. So you can watch the movie and save yourself a lot of time with watching the episodes and still get what was happening in that arc. And before that, it's pretty much Luffy meeting his crew and finding out about their backstories and kind of what happened to them and stuff, and him asking them to join his crew. It gets a lot better after that. Seraph of the End. Ooh. I'm going to give Seraph of the End a A ranking because Seraph of the End is an absolutely incredible story. Amazing, amazing animation and everything. I just love it so much. So I'm going to give it an A ranking because it's so good. But it's not S rank because I personally like My Hero and Demon Slayer better. Seven Deadly Sins. You know what? I think on the other one I gave Seven Deadly Sins an A ranking. I'm going to give it an S ranking in this one because the characters are all so intriguing. It's such an incredible storyline. I love the animation. And I don't know. I just think that it's so cool because the characters are so diverse. And it's just such an interesting and really fun show to watch. I highly recommend it. Get past Meliodas being a perv, and you will love it. Shaman King. I am going to put Shaman King right here at C. Really good show, but it's not as good as Black Clover, in my opinion. I really like it. But I think they're doing an actual, an adaptation of it and making a new one. So maybe that one will be a little better in my opinion. But this one, I'm going to leave there because it's not as good. Sword Art Online. Ooh, okay. This one, I think I'm going to put Sword Art Online with the C ranking. Because the first season is an absolute masterpiece. So well done until you get to the end. And then it kind of gets muddled and dies down and it's not as interesting. And then that's the reason why is because it doesn't stay as good. If they kept it, it would be absolutely amazing, but they didn't. So Tower of God, going straight to S because it's a absolute masterpiece. So good. I am reading, I think it's the Korean manhwa. That's what it's called. Absolutely incredible. I am so excited for more of it to come because it is going to get intense. It is so well done. I love it. I love the characters, except for Rachel. She bugs me, but she's very intriguing. So I'm very, very interested to see where she goes from what she did. I'm not going to give anything away, but I'm very interested to see what is going to happen. So far, I'm loving it. Vinland Saga. I'm going to put this one in D. Now, I know a lot of you really, really love Vinland Saga, and I really, really liked it too. I don't know. I'm more of, say, Demon Slayer style, where it's in your face and lots of fighting and magic and craziness and demons and swords. And it's just, I don't know. Vinland Saga didn't have that aspect for me. It had a very good historical, like, feel to it and everything. So they did it very well. And the fights were really cool. But I just found that it was very, like, weird to me. I'm not, I'm not really into that. I like it when it's more of the, like, crazy, like, action-packed, fun, like, boom in your face power fights. Vinland Saga doesn't do that. It does really good fights, but not in that way. Plus, I think it's weird that Thorfinn wanted to get revenge, so he left his family. It's like, okay, I get that you're a Viking and that you want revenge for your dad, but still. It felt really weird in my opinion. And Yu Yu Hakusho. This one is very near and dear to my heart. I'm going to give that an A ranking. Absolutely incredible show. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. 110% recommend. The reason it's an A and not an S is because it starts out slow, so it's not the most interesting at first. And then it picks up and picks up and picks up and picks up, and it just flies, and it gets so good. So I highly recommend sticking with it, watching it. You will love it. So there you have it. That is my personalized list. The other one I did was one that already was done. That's why I had a lot of anime on there I have never watched. Did you like it? Did you agree with my picks? I know some of you aren't going to. It's my personal opinion, so that is what I personally feel. I love all the shows, but I gave you my reasons why I put some of them a little lower than others. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you really did enjoy it. I hope that you will give me a like and will subscribe to become part of the Animate Nation today. I love